Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew. Joining with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers of the market, what to watch for this week, and more. Looking at our heat map here from Friday for the S&P 500, we could see that it didn't really move too heavily, right? Not a lot of, super big movers. However, SPY did have quite the day uptrending, and it just had an insane uptrend, right? I mean, we kind of did have a small pullback here from 10 to 11.15, but at 11.15, we just started breaking out to the upside, and that's where we're staying. And as you can see by the thumbnail, we're very well set to be moving towards all-time highs this week if we keep up this uptrend. I think it's very possible we keep up this uptrend. We had a pullback on the not on the day chart, sorry, on smaller time frames, like an hour, 15-minute, etc. Right? We've already had our pullback, and now I think it's just time to chug along up to a new all-time high. Just a reminder, SPY's all-time high, if we zoom in right here, mind the arrows, right, is 565.16. We are, if we go ahead and take a look here, only 1.83% or $10 away from that level. And that might sound kind of crazy, but if you kind of take a look at what SPY has done, this is like just a little over a week. We're up 10%, right? Everyone thought the market was going to go into a recession. Everyone thought, if you buy the dip, you're catching a slipping knife. Yeah, it's not happening. So, it's great to see SPY kind of coming back up here, making some new all-time highs, showing a lot of strength in the economy, which is great to see because it was looking a little scary there for a second. Gold actually hit all-time highs as well. I'm not 100% sure if we're still sitting up there. Nope, we're not. But yeah, gold hit 2549.90. We did kind of run into some resistance up there, but as you can see, that is an all-time high for gold. Is this a good thing? Not necessarily for the United States' economy. This basically means that the dollar is super weak, and people are kind of losing faith in the dollar and liquidating it and buying gold. So whenever there's fear or uncertainty in the market, people will kind of you'll kind of see the dollar decline, and gold will just absolutely rip. And that's exactly what we're seeing with these new all-time highs. GLD, obviously, is at all-time highs as well. That's kind of a stock you can trade for gold. But this is kind of weird why there's so much, well, it's not weird why there's so much fear. We are on the brink of kind of like a proxy war. But the VIX is at 14.8, which is so nice to see. I said this a million times. My ideal VIX is 14.5 to 13.5. 14.8 is good enough. I'm not going to ask for more and be greedy there. But, it should be a lot more fear and a lot more volatility, in my opinion, on the VIX. I think it's kind of odd that there isn't. Some of the latest news coming out of that Israel and Iran conflict is that, they're trying to look for a ceasefire. People are saying the war is inevitable. It's kind of looking like there is going to be a war, although Iran did say they were going to attack last week and didn't. So this was kind of like what I was talking about in our Discord, is that Iran does this all the time. They'll say they're going to attack, and then push comes to shove, and they just don't do anything. So no shade to Iran, but I don't want a war, so I'm actually kind of glad they're doing that. But yeah, I kind of take them saying they're going to start a war and launch missiles. Well, they do launch a lot of missiles, but kind of like starting an all-out war with a grain of salt. Just because they've said it so much and they just haven't really, done anything about it. But in other news, back to the U.S. economy and not what's going on in the Middle East. As we can see here, Amazon is continuing to uptrend. Do I still think Amazon's a great buy-in? Absolutely. I've been saying Amazon's been a great buy-in since earnings came out. And that's just because, it's not supposed to be this low. Biggest retailer of all time. I've been talking about it this past whole week. But, just with the market being so bullish, opening long-term positions, not the greatest idea of all time, right? We do, everything's still kind of recovering. And if you didn't really buy in the dip, I don't know. Me personally, I like getting a good cost basis. I like seeing that cost basis in the long term and be like, yeah, that hits right there. But when we're kind of like uptrending like this, I don't know, maybe wait for a pullback, like potentially early on Friday would have been a good buy-in for some of these tech stocks, so on and so forth. But yeah, just don't dump. Just try and get good entry, right? You want to wait for a pullback and enter, unless you are like super super long term. Then obviously it doesn't matter. But yeah, market's just doing great overall right now. Great time to be a trader. And but let's go ahead and take a look at Intel. We've been talking about Intel for the past few weeks here, ever since they reported earnings and had one of the worst earnings reports I've seen in a very long time for a company of this factor. And they're currently sitting at 2080. Remember, the 19.25 support is such a good support for some great RR trades, and RR means risk reward. So, if you just say every time price comes down to 1925, I'll buy and just, kind of have a stop loss at the next support, which I don't even know what the next support is because the last time we were at this level was like 2013. So I guess the next level of support, kind of reaching here, not going to lie, is like maybe 1765. But that's kind of trash. Maybe, I don't know. Just put a stop. Like just look at the chart. Okay. Every time we hit 1925, the support 1925, boom, recovery. So, obviously have a stop loss, but just give it some room to run, give it some room to work out, and you will be fine. There is a little bit more risk associated with this Intel trade just because this company's financials do not look the exact best, but that's kind of why, we're keeping a stop loss just below this 1925 area with a little bit of wiggle room, right? So, Intel, this is honestly such a nice play. If you can kind of look past their financials being terrible, and if you can kind of see the bigger picture, obviously time will be your friend if you do choose to enter Intel. China stocks are just rebounding and doing great. They kind of faltered around for quite a while. As you can see, they were downtrending for just over a month, and we're finally kind of breaking out of that. This day kind of showed us we were breaking out of it, right? As soon as we kind of broke up and closed above this, I can confidently say we're not in a downtrend anymore in the Chinese market. Obviously, with the Chinese market, it tends to be a lot more volatile than the U.S. markets. As you could see, stocks like, JD was up 8%, BABA 4%, but that's because BABA reported earnings and had a nice earnings report. Their revenue was kind of subpar, but BABA, I've been saying BABA to the upside. PDD, I'm not going to lie, I kind of got a little scared there for a second, but nevertheless, still a good buy-in. Bitcoin is also still a great buy-in right now, just sitting below this 60,000 level. We are just chopping around right now. As you can see, we've been chopping around since Thursday, really. We had a nice engulfing candle. But for all you ICT guys out there, I'm sure you kind of see this nice little fair value gap right here, right? That we kind of, wicked up from. So I don't know, maybe it's looking up here. I don't really trade ICT, so that was kind of just BS. But, Bitcoin, I'm just a long-term bullish on Bitcoin, and it's still a great buy-in right now. Crypto miners are doing good as well. IWM looking pretty nice as well. Overall, the market is looking super, super healthy. Earnings this week is super, super quiet. That's why this video is going to be kind of a quicker one. There's not a whole lot going on this week. There's not a whole lot to watch. The market is just uptrending. It's literally as simple as that. Zoom is really the only notable name I see reporting here. And if we do have a few like scattered Chinese stocks like Baidu and Billy. But once again, super, super quiet for the earnings. But I do believe that the economic calendar is kind of busy. So we're going ahead and take a look at that right now. So our economic calendar for this week, like I said, it is a little bit, it's not, listen, this is by far not the worst week I've ever seen. We have a Fed meeting. So, that's at 2:00 though. And if you day trade, you'll know that this is going on. I mean, day trading past I don't know. I don't really like the afternoon power hour. So I never really trade like later in the afternoon. I just trade 9:30 to 12:30 or 9:45 to 12:30 in the New York Open. So this doesn't even concern me at all. But yeah, there is a Fed meeting, so keep that in mind. You don't want Jerome Powell to pop out and mess up your trade. He is speaking. His name, who we do not say, is speaking on Friday. So that's at 10 a.m. Going to have to watch out for that. I'm probably just going to take Friday off just because I hate trading when he speaks. I hate it so much. It just makes me want to quit trading. So Friday, just, if you don't like trading during speeches of when Powell speaks, then there you go. You got a short week this week. Thursday, you've got some events taking place here at 9:45. Existing home sales coming out at 10. I don't think this will really affect the market too much. It might. I'm more leaning towards it won't. But nevertheless, just keep an eye on these numbers coming out. I wouldn't enter a trade before 9:45 just to be safe. And you're not really losing too much there. You're just losing 15 minutes. So just some good discipline to have this week. Just stay attentive, stay alert, and should be a great week. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning to the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to check out our free Discord. Link is in the description. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at Market Close.